What?
I hope you don't mind. But yeah, I have a lot of people, and I will say, and I'll say this now. I mean, I know that John is in, Lisa's in, this other woman, Jessica, and then I have one other person that is almost in. So, but I have to say that I am getting very, I'm not going to say nasty notes, but I'm getting very urgent type letters from my outfitter there, because especially in we're okay, I think, with Rwanda, but for Tanzania, because it is the peak of the wildebeest migration, the hotels are going, and she's like, they keep asking me, because I only have a few rooms on hold because I wasn't sure how many, and she's like, they are asking me for money, they are asking me for money, or whatever, how many. So I'm putting the money down for those who the four people, but I need the anyone who is thinking about it to not think too long. Otherwise,
What's your minimum, Robin,
um,
for, oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry,
it's
please.
okay. I'm doing the trip. So I want to share the experience. I said I'm ready to do it, so it's confirmed. So I think we would like to get, a few more people, but I really just want, like I said, it's one of the things that, I mean, like the other people who are on the trip, and for some of you, it may sound like a little bit of a broken record, but the trip, it's an amazing trip. But for this particular one, like a lot of very special pieces are coming together all in one trip. The first thing is the wildebeest migration. When we were there, this were some of the people who are on the call they were there when the wildebeest were just coming back to Tanzania, and it was kind of at the end, the tail end. Still pretty magnificent, but when we're going to be there, it is going to be the peak of when they are crossing into Kenya, and our tent. So we're not staying in the same place. For those of you who were there, we're a different tent, which is more north, where we were going to be right in the middle of the huge migration. And it's a sight that is, to be seen. The other thing is, one of the reasons why Rwanda is so expensive for the particular trip is the gorilla, the permit for the gorilla for just, 1 hour is like $1,500. That's, no if and buts or whatever about that. And then there's everything else around it, of course. But the reason why it's expensive is because what they did is, instead of going, if you were to see gorillas in Uganda or I forgot, there's another country, I think the Congo may have gorillas, they can't guarantee that you will see gorillas. But what Rwanda has done is they have taken the people who used to poach the gorillas and sell their heads and their limbs for money. And they said to them, if you stop killing the gorillas, we'll pay you this great fee for you to track where the gorillas are each night, where they go, so that in the morning when the tourists come, we know where they are, and to lead the tourists, and because these gorillas best. So because of that, there has been, the gorillas were almost extinct when Diane Fossey was there, but now they have been, the populations have been growing I was there in 2013, and then again when we were there in 2018, the difference between how many gorillas and how many families of gorillas was amazing, but it's still growing. And what they're doing is they're having a huge celebration, which they've been doing every year. They've been doing a gorilla baby naming ceremony, which we're going to be able to attend and part of, but there also is this major celebration in one of the villages right nearby that we also will be attending. This is something that I haven't done yet, and I'm really excited to do. And the third thing is, and and I know we haven't finished with everyone, and I'll get, because Mark actually was very much part of this, the place Red Rocks, where if any of you did my virtual Rwanda trip, that's where it was. And they have a village, and the villagers share all their traditional, and you just get to know that. But they are having a music festival that week. So during the day, we're going to, do our thing and go on activities or meet and learn how to make banana bear, or to see, to do different things. And then at night, we're going to participate in the music festival. So all that is coming together, which is making, each of the pieces even more, in my opinion, even more special. So, I don't remember why I went off on that tangent, but now I'm going to go to Mark.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Mark. I lived in Chicago most of my life, and now I'm living in Texas. And I think I've done 3 stepping out trips. First was I think it was Park City ski trip, and then Bhutan, and then Tanzania and Rwanda. And all the trips were really, really awesome. And Robin does such a meticulous job of organizing things. And like Amy was saying, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite thing from the Rwanda Tanzania trip, but a lot of things you guys have mentioned were some of my favorites. Like seeing the gorillas was absolutely just amazing. A little bit scary, but it's really, really amazing. And then going on the safaris and seeing all the animals was another highlight. Seeing like the wildebeest migration was breathtaking. Kind of mingling with the locals and everything. The food was really great. I loved all of those like fresh vegetable soups that they would make. Like Larry said, one of my highlights was when we, like getting up early for the balloon ride. And then there was the lion that was like near our tents. And that was like really amazing. So, and the balloon ride was really great too. So, yeah, it was really awesome. And I mean, I think the accommodations were really great. Yeah,
Great.
so,
Thank you.
really nice accommodations.
Lisa, can you talk now or no? Okay, maybe not. So, one of the,
I can talk. Sorry.
Oh, yay. All right.
Apologies for my technical difficulties. I'll make this short. I've been on Robin's ski trips. I've also been to Bhutan. I am committed to this trip. I mean, I'm super excited hearing more about it. Haven't booked my flights yet because that's how I roll. I don't know. I mean, I guess, Robin, did you want me to add anything else?
I'm just wondering, like, questions. I mean, I know, like, John said about flights, and we kind of answered there's, about, or no, who asked about accommodations? I don't remember now, but, accommodations and food, the logistics, like flights, I will say, I've been doing a lot of research for trying to figure out, the day starts on the 19th, and we actually go to Mama Anna's farm, which was amazing. We, as Amy Peller, said that, she was going to figure out how to nominate her for a CNN Hero Award. We get to really meet like people who are real and doing something for their communities and just sharing their life. And so that's where our day starts, while we're still in Arusha, before we go out. And I can't find a flight that, if you leave on the 18th, will get you there on the 19th before, like, there wasn't anything before like 4 p.m. So my suggestion is to find a flight on the 17th, arrive in the Kilimanjaro airport on the 18th, and then we'll just get an extra, like what I'll be calling day 0, and we'll get an extra hotel night for day 0.
Robin, sorry, can
yes.
I just jump in really quick? Would you mind sending me an email with exactly what you just said? Because I haven't looked into flights yet, and I actually had no clue that was in existence. I also want to say I happened to be at brunch on Sunday with people who've traveled to Africa several times. And I was going to skip the gorilla thing, but they were saying that's not something to ever skip. And it's the most incredible piece. I also learned right now from you, Robin, but I learned from them why it was so expensive. For me, I don't read itineraries. When I went to Bhutan,
Yes.
Robin was rather shocked. I don't read itineraries. I was like, well, you're planning everything anyways. She does make this trip so unique and special. The one question I have is, are we spending any overnights in any of the safari lands? Because I really want to.
Yeah. So
I still don't need to read the itinerary, and I'm in.
So yeah, so the first part in Tanzania, so the first part, as we meet people and we go to different game parks, which are a little smaller. I mean, we have a bike ride in there and we have different things, but the game parks that we go, they almost like all lead up to the Serengeti. We're going to one that is like kind of focuses on, what they call tree hanging lions, and then we go to another area. We didn't do this last year because the timing's different, but we're going to another place that should be like the birthing in baby elephants, another game reserve for that. We go there, then you go to the crater, which is this like microcosmic Serengeti, which everything's there, but you can go into the crater. But while we're also there, we're going to meet the Maasai, and they're going to take us on hikes. And so so we're going through up until the Serengeti, we are staying pretty much like in places outside. Not to say that there isn't like an animal running through or whatever, but it's outside. When we get into the Serengeti, our camp, which is where I was going to say gorillas, where the wildebeest migration and everything is, that we are staying in what they call permanent tents. Although they're not so permanent because they do move them, but they are beautifully done and it has your own bathroom, whatever, but you are in the middle. And what we were saying, like what Mark was saying and Larry about the lion, the Maasai, kind of watch over the camp and they watch over you. And, you can't go out at night by yourself. You need to like ring a bell if you wanted to. There was no reason to go out, but if you wanted to, you have to, have someone walk with you, etc. But you can hear the animals from the Serengeti like right around it. I mean, the lions roar. I recorded it on my phone. The lions roar outside of our tent. It was just like, oh my God, he is, he's right here. And that's it was pretty amazing. And he was right there. But the Maasai, they know that, we heard that he ate. We could hear that in the distance too. So no one was worried that he was, after us. He was full. But you do, yes, for the 2 nights in the Serengeti, we are in the Serengeti. And it surrounds us it all, the whole time. So it is pretty amazing. So I'm going to
Robin, I just wanted to say real quick, Shelley, that all the tents have plumbing. So
Right.
It's not like you're using an outhouse for the bathroom. So it's concrete, and then it has its actual shower and bath, toilet and stuff. So anyway.
Yeah, it was very comfortable, and you were fine. And it was pretty, pretty amazing with the animals right around there. And so, there
Were you scared, Robin? Like,
what?
Is that like, were you scared? Like, it sounds scary. You're like, oh no, they ate. Like, really? that calmed you down? Like, that would not calm me down. Like, how do you know they ate?
Oh
I
my
want to
God.
eat more. Even after I finish eating,
I'm
I
gonna
want to
tell-
eat more.
I don't, I did. we felt safe. I mean, I don't know. Some of you have heard my story about another time that I was
hyena?
there, and the hyenas when I people say that my laugh is kind of similar to hyenas. So when we were in the tent, this was in 2013, my roommate and I were laughing, and the next thing I knew, my entire tent was being like surrounded by hyenas, like crying or whatever. And they were they were just like giving their mating call, I think. But and the Maasai who were sitting out there, he told us, we're fine, we don't have to worry about the hyenas getting to us, but we felt them like kind of even pushing against the and I would say that I was a little scared, but I also I knew that we were protected, so I didn't so it was fine. With the lion, I'm trying to remember. I think I must have been a little nervous, but I'm not nervous enough that I didn't think to record it, on my phone.
You want to hear it?
Yeah. Oh, you have it? Wait, Liz,
like
we were
their
sharing
guys
the
with,
room
like-
that night, right? Yes.
Let me see if I can make it loud. You hear?
It sounded like they were having sex.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Can you hear
It
that
was
or no?
But it was
Right?
also not just the lion, it was the elephant too. And when we went on our hot air balloon, they told us that they were kind of arguing, like territorial, where the elephant was trying to take over and the lion was protecting the camp because it was his territory.
Oh.
And so that's why they were going back and forth. It was very interesting. But anyway, did you find it, Liz?
It's playing. You guys can't hear it. I don't know. How
Yeah,
to make it
it's too
louder.
soft.
No.
But I can't remember, Liz. Were we scared or not?
I mean, yeah, it was a little scary, but I
Yeah.
felt like there were these massive Maasai men with massive guns. They had guns.
That's
Like,
what I
they
was
were-
asking. Okay.
They were like trolling the perimeter of the tent, like outside the whole, I wasn't, but also I'm not a nervous person like that. I wasn't thinking they were going to like come through the tent walls, but it was a cool feeling. You felt very close to nature.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
you
to know
felt
that
very
the
close to
Messiahs
nature.
are outside with a gun.
Well,
Okay.
and also, well, keep in mind also the tents are
Fred, we
dark
were showing it. Right?
and they can't, the animals cannot see the tent. So they don't know that you're in there. And then they tell you not to open to show the light of the inside, to keep it zipped up, that you want to stay inside. So don't like get any fresh air with opening the windows or, the tent windows. But I mean, just
Did
keep
that? Did
keep in there and you'll be fine because they can't really see
I
it.
guess during the
Then-
night you do shut it up. But
And then you think of all these things where like, okay, what am I going to go? Where am I going to go in the event it comes to get me? Your mind is going crazy. And then so you just run in the bathroom by the toilet and shower in the concrete and you'll be fine.
I didn't have those thoughts, but okay.
I wasn't as scared as Shelley.
Well, I was by myself.
I will
too.
say when the lion started when I started hearing the lion roaring, that was the one time on the trip where I thought, was it really a good idea that I got a single? Single room?
That's me too, Amy. I was like, okay, how am I going to WhatsApp everyone in 5 seconds?
I'm trying to figure out where else do you want me to go? I can go into more logistics. I can go into the itinerary. I will say that, some of the, some of the things that make, a more stepping out type, trip is that we are pretty active. There are bike rides and, and different hikes and things like that. I don't think it's, anything too strenuous in any way, but I think that the other piece is really like meeting a lot of locals, just there was a nurse who was trying to help like get the the Bushmen immunized, just so the Bushmen's get the kids immunized. And so, she was taking, she was kind of, watching over them and, and trying to make sure that, the kids would have a longer survival rate. And, we met with her and what her project was all about. It was just different people who are doing different things that it was really interesting. The Rwanda guy of Red Rocks is just an amazing personality of what he's trying to do. He's trying to do a lot of sustainability projects, not only in Rwanda, but throughout Africa. So he has tons of knowledge, as well as, being a really kind of charming personality. So that makes it, also really fun. And I think you saw some of the, videos of the drum playing. I do have the, it's a little long, so I won't show it now, but I'll show it at the end but I want to cover everyone's questions of, of the video from the trip with all the different pieces. But Amy or Ellie or Arthur or Jody or Jill, well, Lisa and Dana, do you have any other questions about it that you're,
Yes.
want me to go more into?
I guess the Rwanda piece, because you can do either or both, right? The
Right.
Tanzania, right. Is there an opportunity to see other animals along with the gorillas in Rwanda?
So our trip covers the golden monkeys and the gorillas. There are areas in Rwanda, and if you were only doing Rwanda and wanted me to find an add-on for, to do, yes, there are other game reserves in Rwanda. So it was really hard to take a lot. I mean, there's also all these other places that I wanted to go in Tanzania and other places that I wanted to go into Rwanda, but then it gets, gets long and more expensive. But I know, and I just wanted to say that there are, people who can't be away, that long, but want to do some of it. I am happy to work with someone who maybe just wants to come at the end of the Tanzania and leave, after the gorillas in Rwanda or something. I mean, we could figure that out. I just think it's just a truly amazing experience. And so whatever I can do to help you get there, then I am willing to do that, which goes into my next piece is that the two others who aren't here who also committed have, and I don't know, Lisa, you didn't tell me yet. I offered a very, I think, generous payment plan, and I am willing to work with people so that, as long as I, have, a little contract with you, that it can go, you can, do the payments, actually for an entire year, and which will mean that we will be back in, February by the final payment. But, I know that for some people that's really hard. So I'm willing to do that if we sign an agreement. So.
And on your website, is the itinerary for each a little bit more detailed on your website?
Yeah, so it is, and I can send it to you, but so what I did, and this is a marketing thing, is that you can't get the details unless you actually sign in on the website. So you can see a little blurb about what's there, but once you sign in, you can get more details. Okay. If you want, I can set up a password for you and then send it to you, and so that you don't have to go and create it, and then it'll be easier to get in. But if you do, it is all on the website. If you do have a problem, then just let me know, and I'll figure that out, or send it all to you. So I separated, because they can be separate. there's the Tanzania and there's the Rwanda. And so there's a price just for the Tanzania and there's a price just for the Rwanda, but then there's 2 packages listed on both of them. So if you're in the Tanzania, it'll say Tanzania, this amount, and then it'll say Tanzania plus Rwanda, this amount. And then the Rwanda, it says Rwanda, this amount, Rwanda and Tanzania, so you can, figure out how you want to sign up that way. So I think someone had asked me about, meals and, like what's included and how much money, is not being, like more to think about. So pretty much almost all the meals are included. There's occasional, lunches or something, but very rare and they're not going to be very expensive. So, meals are taken care of. Tipping is not included, and who's loading my whiteboard? It says we're viewing Liz's. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm gonna say have a great trip, you guys. I have to go.
All right, thanks, Liz. It was good to see you.
Bye.
Bye. The tipping, I forgot what I had recommended, but I'll pull that out and send that. But the flight from Tanzania to Rwanda is not included. I'm trying to get everyone on the same flight, and I just put a hold for John, Lisa, and Jessica. And then, but I have, those are being held on a flight that is, so what's left, and this is why I'm getting into, make your decision soon, because there now is only one flight left that leaves, that is a direct flight. All the other flights from Tanzania to Rwanda go pretty much around the world and then back. So the flight is, and I will book this for everyone. I'm not going to, right now the price it went up since when I originally checked, and I think it's going to continue to go up. So right now it's about 400. I think it was like 398 or whatever, but but that is extra. And so as people sign on, and we fill that one flight, that I'm not going to be able, I'm not guaranteeing that you won't get caught, not having a flight, or B, having it go all the way to Arizona before it comes back. So yeah, I was looking at these prices. I'm like, at the times, I'm like, how is it taking them 12 hours to go, whatever, but it was like the only way. So that is another cost. The other costs are the visas, I think, and I'll give you information about getting your visas. I think majority of people, did you guys just buy? I know I got mine in advance, but did you just buy them there, Mark? Or yeah, I think you can just buy it there. I think Tanzania is about 150, and Rwanda was like 50.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we need to talk about this now, but if you remember, when you get to Tanzania at the airport, they're very specific about the kinds of bills that they will accept. They have to be of recent vintage. Remember, there was that group in front of us. They didn't have American dollars, and they were going asking other people for dollars, and they needed to be of a certain denomination and a certain recent vintage. They won't accept like an old $10 bill. So that was an issue. But yeah. But in terms of the travel, because John asked about getting there, Mark and I, when we flew out there, we actually flew through Qatar Airways, and we got a stopover in Doha. And I don't know if you can, if you can make it work. We actually, Qatar Airways had a deal going at that time where if you had a stopover in Doha, Qatar, or Qatar, however it's pronounced, they would pay for you they put us up in 4-star hotel, and we actually had a night on the town in Doha, which was actually really fascinating. But I'll say that there were folks who flew into our trip who I think went through Nigeria. And my recollection is that those people all had problems. There were delays. There was luggage that
No,
didn't arrive.
they went through Istanbul.
Well, yeah, there were other people who went through Istanbul. So, you know, you just have to be, sometimes some of these other, we had no problem going through Doha on Qatar Airways, but on that particular time we were flying first to Kigali, which is Rwanda.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I think that's what I was looking, because the itinerary is slightly different.
It's flipped.
It's flipped. So we're going first to Tanzania.
Right.
And I did, you know, KLM had, and I think Delta is what I found had, you know, had some good flights, and then they stopped. Well, I think KLM stops in Amsterdam and then goes to Kilimanjaro. So I am, you know, I can give you, I did a little work with Jessica trying to find, she's from New York, so I was working with her. John and Lisa, I don't know where Lisa went. Lisa, you there? You both are LA. So Lisa, are you there? Are you there? So you and John are both LA, so maybe you guys can, you know, do some research together about, you know, what works. But I will look, two people who were on our trip were also from LA, and I'll look and see what their, you know, again, it was 3 years ago, but I'll look and see what, you know, what route they went and their thing.
Yeah, that's great, Bradley. First of all, thanks a lot for your comments and information. Robin, just because I mean, I'd like to defer to you if you can tell us like what time to be where, what city. But if you're looking at flights, I mean, I'm happy for stayovers anywhere. That doesn't matter to me.
So I think that you would look from, you know, your base and put JRO, which is the Arusha Kilimanjaro Airport, and I would put in that your date of departure is the 17th of August. It will probably get you in somewhere later on the 18th, and then we'll stay overnight. This is also one thing that is not included, but the additional hotel night. But I think that, you know, what I saw with the flight schedule, that I could not find one that actually came in like on the 19th in the morning. They all were in the 19th in the afternoon. So I would say put in the 17th, go to JRO, and then it will probably, you know, I filter it by, you know, least amount, you know, shortest route or whatever, and kind of see who has the least amount of stopovers. And
Robin, is the trip ending in Kigali?
Yes. So for those who are doing both, we're leaving on the 27th, and that's the ticket that I will buy. And then on September 2nd, leaving from Kigali. So there's a couple of things. You know, have you heard of Skyscanner? Anyone? It's a pretty, I mean, Kayak is pretty good. Expedia is pretty good. I found that Skyscanner does a better scan of all the deals. So if you do skyscanner.com, the other thing, and it really, and I was doing this with Jessica, so I can say this, that we tried 2 different one-way tickets, and they actually came out to be almost the exact same amount of, you know, people, because if you go to Skyscanner or Kayak or any of those, they aren't necessarily using the same, you know, the same airlines for coming and going. They do the mix and match. So it tends to sometimes be cheaper than if you were just to go into Delta and like see where you can go. So if you do the mix and match and go back from Kigali, which is KGL, back to your home on September 2nd, then the only thing I'm asking is we're going to be about 2.5 hours from the airport from that morning. So don't make anything like early morning. More, a little later, either later in the afternoon, or if you do have a day, we can do something, in Kigali during the day. I found a great artist. So I can, I am happy to like go and do a little playing around for anyone that wants, and seeing what we can come up with. Lisa, are you raising your hand?
I am raising my hand. Thanks. Sorry. Can you do you mind sending an email to maybe the 4 of us that are committed, explaining exactly which airport? I didn't realize flights were going to be this complicated, and I was going to wait to book my flight, but now it sounds like I really need to get on it. And then John, because you're coming from LAX, if you want, I can keep you posted on what I book.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Then do you mind, Robin, like just include, I think that all 4 of us, if we're traveling, we want each other's email addresses.
Right.
You mind? I just don't want to make a mistake in booking.
No, and I'm happy to help you guys do it. I mean,
Yeah,
so
Robin, if you can poke around, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm ready to book it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys know what I come up with. As soon as I get the email from Robin, I'm gonna set a Google flight alert.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, so that's why I want to make sure I have it exact. And then, yeah, so thanks. I actually have another Zoom I need to jump off to.
Go do that.
Everyone. Thanks.
And I don't know, Amy, Arthur, Ellie, Jody, Jill, Dana, if you want me to look also, for you, wherever you are, I forgot to ask some of you where you're calling from. So, but, I can kind of gauge for you as well. I know where Jill is. Jody, where are you from?
I am in New York, and I'll just say for tonight, first of all, thank you for everybody for hearing all of your great comments. And Robin, you are just so accommodating and so positive. So really, for me, it's, kind of in a thinking phase right now. So no requests for tonight except to say thank you, and I'll probably sign off.
All right, good. That would be awesome. And Ellie, are you also from New York?
In New York, yeah.
All right. I know that Amy's Boston and Jill's Chicago. And Arthur, you said Minneapolis?
Robin, I'm going to sign off too.
All right.
But thank you. Nice meeting everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the questions. And for anyone else who has questions or whatever, be sure, we can,
thanks.
Yeah, just let me
I'll
know.
follow up with you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks.
We'll follow up really soon, actually. It sounds like we need to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know people, it's funny because people are always, they're saying, I need, how can we, I think it was Dana. It's like, it's only January. It's like, no, I know it is, but all these things have to take place. And it's just because we are going at a popular time. And I wanted, and I knew that was going to happen. And I do know that people are, have a hard time like thinking, especially, summer or whatever seems so far away. But when I put this trip together and she told me, this is one of the most popular times. And I said, I know, but I want them to experience it. So I hope that, you can't, and if you having, in your decision making, and you need to have questions answered, just, let me know. So I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
These Zoom meetings are good, Robin.
Yeah.
To do your planning.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think so.
Nice to see everyone.
Good to see you, Shelley.
See you soon. Call me if you need anything.
All right.
Talk to you
Thanks.
later.
Thank you.
Okay.